Dope Boyz in the building. What's up? What's up? What's up? Dope Boyz in the building. What's up? What's up? What's up, people? Welcome to the Dope Boyz Podcast. This is episode 15. And today we have a very super spectacular special guest, the one, the only Jacob Caputo. Jacob.
Woo! Not bad. I like the applause.
We have an audience if you can't see.
Hello, my friend.
Glad to be here.
Man, I can't believe you're here. It's kind of it's surreal. Because you're our boss. Our boss is here with us on our little podcast.
Well, it's been a few years since you guys have worked for me. So.
Yeah, but it still feels that way.
No,
it still feels that way. Thank you for coming on to the show. We thought, it would be a missed opportunity if we didn't have Jacob come down when you're right down the street.
Yeah, literally, I walked here.
Oh, did you really? Yeah. Carly was like, "Did he drive?"
No, there's no reason to.
Yeah, save the gas.
Seriously, especially now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. I told Dalen, I was like, "Wait, Jacob lives where?" Over there. And I'm like, "Dude, we gotta get him on. Like, come on, man. How could we not get Jacob on?"
See, I literally could throw a baseball from my front yard.
And I'd catch it.
Yeah, seriously,
I'd catch it.
That's how. I mean, I'm around the corner, literally.
That's so cool. Jacob, what have you been up to during the down season of old Not Scary Farm?
Well, it's Not Scary Farm is my fun gig, and you guys kind of know that about me. Yeah. I own two small businesses. I own Haunted Whittier Ghost Tours, and when I'm not at Haunt, actually this last year I've been producing a new tour, and kind of excited about that. And then my other business is called Alexander & Sons Restoration, and I restore World War I and World War II stuff for different movies, collectors, reenactors.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's what you were mentioning,
yeah.
Dalen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, Dalen kind of mentioned it. No way. So now it's all making sense. Duh.
The history stuff?
Yes, all the history stuff, the way you dress. I mean, you are like the snazziest, haunt captains out there. So,
which I told Dario, I was like, because I wanted to dress up to surprise you, but I told him, I was like, it'd be so funny if Jacob, the one time we dress up, he comes up in shorts and like a shirt. I was hoping you were.
Very few people have seen me in shorts.
I have.
Yeah, you're one of them.
Do you not wear do you stay authentic to this all the time, or do you kind of deeter off a little bit here and there?
Do in the evenings when I'm done with work, and I'm usually in pants and a shirt, t-shirt or something like that, but usually when I go out I dress nice.
Yeah.
And not always with a tie, but I like to look nice.
No, I've seen you without a tie. So yeah, I was wondering if you're hardcore. There's some people they live in the 50s, I saw this YouTube thing on this lady who was just her whole apartment is 1950s era, everything, her utensils, her appliances, clothes, her car, I don't know if you were that hardcore or
I really appreciate the fashion, the culture of the past for lots of different eras. I kind of pick and choose. I'm never that crazy about it.
Yeah.
But, dressing, I've kind of with my clothes, I have there's an ethic behind it. Mm-hmm. And I feel like how I dress shows respect for the activity that I'm participating in.
Oh, I like that. Mm-hmm.
Even coming here, you guys have put on a very nice show. Oh. And I'm showing you respect.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
So
yeah, we wanted to reciprocate that by dressing up as well for you.
Thank you.
And I'm wondering where did that start? Where did that love or that attention to that detail to dress the way you dress, and or where did that love come from, or where did it go?
Do you know? It probably came from as a kid seeing my grandpa dress up nice like that.
Yeah. Same with me.
But even watching. I grew up watching some of those noir films, those 30s and 40s detective films and stuff. Humphrey Bogart, and that. the way he dressed just commanded respect.
Yes.
I mean, the minute he walks on a screen, everybody knows who's in charge.
Yes.
Right.
And this may sound even a little funny to you, but at Knott's, if I have a problem with a guest where there is, they're upset, they're angry, I walk up with a tie, they dial it down so quickly, and it becomes, okay, sir, sorry, sir.
Yes.
I am able to resolve problems dressing nicely so much more quickly.
I believe that.
And I know it sounds crazy in this day and age, but I don't know if they think I'm higher up than I am, but I think the clothing, it just commands.
Yep.
Especially because there's not a lot of that anymore.
No, it's almost gone.
Yes, exactly.
No, but it also ties into like any type of authority figure is going to be in some type of uniform, whether it's a judge, a police officer,
Military.
Yeah.
military. I mean, they demand respect. It commands respect, dressing well, and it also says a lot about yourself. It says that you carry yourself in a certain way, and that you care about the way you dress and look.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, dang. So you mentioned you're watching your grandpa. So my grandpa, growing up, so my grandpa was a mechanic, and he was he always had this flat top. So when I was a kid, for a while, he would take me to the barbershop, and we went to this barbershop with like an old Italian guy, where they would like put the hot shaving cream in the back, and then like
So very traditional,
and like straighten you up with a razor, and so I remember always like trying to mimic my grandpa with the flat top, and but my grandpa, it's funny you mentioned World War II. He actually had a 1941 Willie Jeep.
Did he really?
Yeah. And he had told me that it was a German Jeep. But then I recently did some research on it, and there wasn't a German Jeep that looked like a Willie. No. It was more like a Volkswagen type of looking.
The Volkswagen thing.
Is that what it was called?
Yeah, well, they had called it the Kubelwagen. Bucket wagon is what it means in German. But the Kubelwagen, the thing that you see driving around, nowadays, it's a copy of the World War II Kubelwagen. So
okay.
They never actually, maybe in the 50s and 60s after the war, they copied it. But,
right.
During the war, it was the Kubel.
No, he was very specific. He said this was from the Second World War. But what I looked a little bit more into the history, and I found out that some of the Germans had confiscated some of the Jeeps, some of the Willies.
Oh, they did.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
And then they put their symbols and whatever stuff on it. So I think that's what my grandpa meant when he would tell me, oh, it's a German Jeep. But I think what had happened was I don't know who brought it over, but they got it over. He bought it from a man, and that Jeep was in our family for like forever, for I think up until my 20s.
Oh, wow.
So as a little kid, it was always parked in the backyard. He would, it went through different colors. It was yellow at one point, and then it was orange, and it was his hunting Jeep.
Nice.
So when he'd make his kill, I know Lindsay, you don't like that, but he would make his kill. He'd put the deer on the front because the windshield would go down.
Yeah, you fold it down, put the deer up there.
Yeah. And then also when I was a kid, I'd go in the backyard and jump in it and play with it, and he would also, when he'd come home from his shop, he would just drive it up on the lawn and just park it there.
Nice.
But that was a real cool thing to have in the family.
That sounds like there's some good stories there too.
Yeah. Did you have anything like that from your grandfather? Anything that was kind of passed down to you?
No, boy, nothing like that. He gave me. It was about 10 years before he died. He gave me all of the money that he collected in the South Pacific. Oh. Every island he was on, everywhere he was, he collected a couple and he pasted them in a journal and wrote up where he found them. Like, this came from Guadalcanal, this came from Biak, this came from the island of Truk.
Wow.
And he gave all that to me. I still have it.
Wow.
Yeah, and definitely very special.
Wasn't there on the because we went on your tour.
Yeah, you have.
And you were saying about your was it your uncles?
Great uncles. The uniform, right?
Yes.
You want to hear that story?
Yes,
I want to hear it.
All right.
Oh man, that was cool.
This is one of those stories where I don't have an explanation for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, a couple years ago, I put up a picture on social media of my great uncle. He's the very first member of my family to live in America. came over here from Germany, actually from Lithuania. He was German, but he was from Lithuania. Came here in 1912, fought in World War I as a medic.
Wow.
With the Americans. And when the war was over, he settled in Hollywood and eventually bought an avocado ranch in Whittier.
Wow.
So that was the property my grandparents owned. When he died, he willed it to them. And so I always grew up hearing about Uncle Arnold. Never met him. But my grandma gave me a picture of him. And it's just him in his World War I American uniform. I put it up online. I didn't think anything about it. Almost, maybe a year later, I get a phone call out of the blue from a close friend. He's down in San Diego. He's like, do you have anything that belongs to your great-great-uncle? You know, the one that you put on Facebook? And I'm like, well, what do you mean? He's like, do you have his dog tags? Do you have anything? Well, I had his dog tags. He's like, I am standing here in a thrift shop holding a World War I American medic's uniform, and it has the name Arnold Kohler written inside the jacket with a serial number. Do you have his dog tags? I did. It's the one thing my grandma gave to me. They matched perfect.
Whoa.
So my buddy's like, he said the last
Ooh,
number,
that's chills.
well, he got the chills. So he's in San Diego, and he's like, I'm driving up there.
Oh, man.
He's like, I think he wants this. He wants you to have it back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
What are the odds?
No, I don't have. How do you explain
That's
it?
so, and someone you knew, you know what I mean?
I mean, the chance that he even saw the post,
Mm-hmm.
and they happened that day to be in the thrift shop. And I asked him. I said, "You talked to them. Where did it come from?" They just said some people brought in a bunch of clothes.
Wow.
So,
Well, how do you think it ended up there? What do you think might have happened?
Maybe cleaning out a collector's closet or something like that. I mean, somebody died. You never know. You know, it was a thrift shop. It wasn't a militaria shop.
Right.
That's crazy.
But so he brings it back. I put it on a dressmaker's mannequin. He's seen it, and I have not only his dog tag, but I have his Victory in Europe medal from 1918, and the holes are still in the jacket.
Wow.
So I put it right back on in the original holes. It's the jacket he wore when he marched down Central, or we was at Park Avenue in New York when they had the Victory Parade, and I'm just like, this is just crazy.
Yeah.
So people ask me, they're like, is it haunted? I said, I don't know that it is, but I just get a feeling that he's watching over my family and myself, because I think he kind of sees me as carrying that legacy forward.
Yes.
Obviously, he wanted the jacket back in the family. There's no other explanation.
No, there's not.
No.
It's not by chance.
No, really. How could it happen?
Yeah.
Jacob, how many people in your family served?
So, my father fought in Vietnam. Both my grandfathers were in World War II. My grandfather on my father's side was in the South Pacific, and my grandfather on my mother's side was up in Alaska.
Wow.
And if you want to hear a funny story about him,
Yes.
Please.
Yeah.
So, when I was a little kid, he would tell me this story because there wasn't any fighting where he was. He was on a little tiny island called Attu. And there had been a battle there. The Japanese actually had fought there, but the Americans pushed him out. And he got there after the battle was over.
Do you know around what time this was?
This was in 1940. I think it was 42. Yeah.
Okay.
And but he got there in I think it was in 43. And but he was always very clear that he never saw any action or combat. But the story that he would tell me is that one day he was in line for chow. So all these sailors lining up for chow.
My God, I haven't heard that word in years.
I think you appreciate it.
Sorry, I just had
Flashbacks.
And they used it then. They still use it today.
Yeah, they do.
And he turns around, and there's a Japanese soldier in line. He said the guy's in a ragged uniform, and he's sitting there hoping, just kind of going like this.
Oh, he's hungry.
He's hungry, hoping nobody notices him. And then all of a sudden, everybody realizes, they start, screaming the Japanese soldier. He's arrested. He's taken away. Now, even as a 10-year-old hearing this story, I knew Grandpa was pulling my leg. I'm like, okay, come on. Really, this Japanese soldier, for years hiding in Alaska.
Yeah.
And he comes down, and he's so stupid that he gets in line with a bunch of American sailors.
Oh, see, I'm listening. I'm like, then
nobody's
what?
good. Okay. So
Typical grandpa.
it is 1996, so I'm in high school, and I'm watching a History Channel program about the Battle of Attu, and they went into that story.
No.
They told it exactly the way he told it.
What?
So I'm like, what the heck? So I drive over to Grandpa's house, and I'm like, I reiterated the story, and he just looked at me, and he smiled. He's like, did you not believe me? He's like, I was right there. He was behind me. I saw him. And I'm like, well, were you the one that ratted him out? He's like, everybody saw him. He's like, he was this skinny guy in ragged uniform. Wow. So the story, now I've looked it up again. It's 100% true.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It's a good story, though, isn't it?
That's a great story. Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah. So when he died, I told that story, and my mom and my uncle had never heard it.
Oh
my gosh.
My uncle pulls me aside and he's like, where did you hear that? And I'm like, he told me several times. I said, I just listened to him about his war stories. He's like, I guess I never paid attention.
Wow.
So I'm like, well, now you know it.
So listening to all of your relatives that had served, did you ever want to, or have you?
You know, I really contemplated it, but, you know, it was just one of those things. You just kind of trying to decide what you're going to do in life,
right.
and I didn't go in that direction.
Good job.
I have a lot of respect for anybody who does, but
Yeah.
Just my life didn't go in that direction.
Yeah.
Well, and thank you to your family who did. I mean, my gosh, that's so admirable.
Appreciate
And
hearing that.
you know, Dalen too, who, you know, everything that he did and what you went to training, and what else did you do?
Got hurt.
But you got hurt.
Just like everybody else.
But you got injured very badly, Dalen. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's okay.
But it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. You went.
you
Yeah, I
went,
did go.
and
And it was fun.
You
was a
know,
great time.
so yeah.
It's a great time.
Yeah, I wanted to go into the Marines, and this was right before 9/11.
Oh.
Yeah, at the time I was kind of telling my family about it, but I wasn't getting any
See,
support.
That's funny, dude, because when I was so scared to tell my parents, cause especially my dad, because he's like fucking worrisome about everything. And God, dude, that was like the worst thing. And they're like, what are you talking about? You're going.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going. You know, what else am I going to do? You know?
Yeah. And good thing too, I was kind of my math was a little bad. So that kind of saved me because I kept taking the practice ASVAB test, and I was scoring really low.
Well, but in the Marines though, I feel like they take anybody.
No, but I didn't want any job. I didn't want to, go right into infantry. I wanted options.
But see, that's not the Marines.
No.
That's the only branch where it's. But Jacob, if you were to have gone, do you like when you were contemplating? Did you have like a branch that you wanted to?
Air Force.
Oh, smart.
Oh, wow.
Very smart.
Yeah. My father was in the Air Force. My grandfather was one of the first. He went into the Army, but he went from the Army to the Army Air Corps.
Yeah.
And so it's in the family.
Yes.
And so I did think long and hard about it. I actually went and talked to them and stuff like that because I wanted to go in as an officer. I wanted to be a lawyer. Long story there, but
Yeah.
just
I'm sure they lied to you and everything. And
they do tell some stories sometimes.
yeah.
Do you know one more quick kind of a funny story about veterans? In what I do with the restoration, I've had opportunities to interview a lot of vets over the years, mostly from World War II, a couple from Vietnam, but I've talked to a lot of very interesting people that served in World War II. Mm-hmm. And there was one guy, paratrooper, 82nd Airborne. I mean, you know the 82nd. This guy, he jumped in Sicily, he jumped in Tunisia, he jumped in Italy. He was in a lot of combat. And, I'm talking to him, and he's telling me about some pretty terrible stuff that he saw. And then he sat back in his chair, and he got this unusual smile. And then he said, I'll be honest, young fella, I had the time of my life.
Wow.
And I'm like, how do you follow that up?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a whole different experience.
Yeah.
If you survive it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you could say that.
But then, like, it's not only like the experience, but it's also the people you were with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you will never find someone that's going to go through something as crazy as those people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think that comradeship,
Yes.
especially in combat, because that's the one thing they all talk about.
Yes.
And Vietnam, Korea, any vet I've talked to, that they really get into like that comrade. And you know what? It's not just the comradeship in even the American Army. It's all armies.
Yes.
And I've interviewed German vets as well, and they talk about the exact same thing.
Really?
That's how they got through.
Yeah.
It was a comradeship.
It's each other. Yeah.
Did your grandfather ever talk to you about like how he got through everything after coming back?
Do you know, he never dealt with any PTSD or anything like that.
It wasn't really talked about back then, though, huh?
So, yeah, they really did hide it. The idea, if that generation, do you know where they talked, where they got through it? They went to the bars.
Yeah.
Yes.
They went to the VA bars and
Still
stuff
do.
like that. They still do.
Yes.
But, back in the day, they would be full of guys that were just talking about these horrible combat stories that they would have never told their wives. Or their children or anything like that.
Yeah.
They sometimes they cry about it. Sometimes, and then it was just like, okay, I got it off my chest. I'm going to go, out my life again. And that was just the way it was.
Yeah.
It's the idea of discussing with anybody that's not in the military is a relatively new thing.
Yeah.
And I would imagine any of the vets that you talk to,
One of my
will tell you that.
Yeah, one of my all-time favorite TV shows, Mad Men.
We love Mad Men.
We love Mad Men. It deals a lot with that type of person. Ex-soldiers. They're all in New York now in suits, and they look like gentlemen.
Yeah.
And but they're drinking at the office. They're drinking right when they get home. They're like constantly drinking, and then the main character. I don't know if you watch the show.
I've seen it, yeah.
Oh, Don.
He's a Korean War vet.
Yeah, he's a Korean War, but the way he handles his past, and he doesn't know how to. Well, he's a deserter.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
And so that's double the guilt of on top of what he's already going through. But then when you get to the later episodes, spoiler alert, he runs into some veterans towards the end of the show, and there's this one episode where they're all at this table and they're all telling their stories of their horror stories, and then eventually Don confesses that he killed his lieutenant, I think, right? On
CO,
accident.
I don't remember who it was, but it was a CO.
Yeah, he accidentally killed him, but these guys had to. I mean, they went through hell, and somehow some of them made it back.
Yeah.
And that was the way they coped with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard a lot of stories, and I interviewed before he died. I don't know if you've heard the name Ed Pepping. He was the medic in Easy Company, 101st Airborne. So if you've seen Band of Brothers,
Yes.
Ed is portrayed in Band of Brothers. And he was very interesting to talk to. But being the medic, you kind of know what he saw.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was the guy that had to go in and patch him up, and he had people die in his arms.
That's so great.
And that was,
What a life.
Yeah, it really was. And he even told me stuff about, running out to get a guy that was bleeding out and seeing the sniper. And he's like, I got to still go. And
hoping he misses.
Well, he actually told me at Normandy. Actually, no, it wasn't Normandy. I think it was at Bastogne. But the guy saw him, and he went the German went like this, seeing that he saw the Red Cross. He pushed his rifle back. He said, "Go get the guy."
Wow.
Yeah. So there was some respect sometimes, not always.
Right.
But yeah, he told me about that, and he's like, it was this guy that just realized that wanted to do something to show humanity.
That's wow.
Yeah, and that Ed told me that himself.
Wow.
A different time.
Yeah.
Wow. One of my favorite movies. There's so many great war movies out there, right?
Oh yeah.
One of my favorites is, it's not even American. It's it was made by Americans, I'm sure, but Enemy at the Gates.
It's good. Yeah, I've read the book too.
There's a book?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
It's based on a book.
Okay, all right. So yeah, he's a Russian sniper, Vasily
Zaitsev.
Thank you. Played by Jude Law.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to see it from like the other side of not just from our soldiers' point of view, but to see it from a Russian soldier's point of view, how like outnumbered they were and how like almost like poor they were, like in supplies. And it was just, that movie is always like stuck in my brain like throughout the years.
Stalingrad was considered kind of the high water mark for the Germans. It was as far as they got. And if you look at a map, it is scary to see how far they actually got into Russia. and how close they were to winning that war.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was where Stalin pretty much said, not one step back. We are going to put all our resources in. We are going to stop them.
He threw everything they had.
And the Germans had been foolish to allow themselves to get surrounded. And there was a lot of reasons for that, and this is probably not the place to get deep into the battle, but talk about the Romanian allies and the Hungarians and the Italians that, they were around the soldiers, they were on the flanks of the Germans, and they did hold as well. But it's an interesting movie. There's no doubt about it.
You know what's really sad for my generation is I was never interested in history up until, I'm 39, up until... probably like 10 years ago. And I, just hearing you speak right now, it's so refreshing and it's so nice to hear you speak about this history, because, there's so much that we don't know, and you don't know like what to listen to, what not to listen to. But back then, when I was in high school, a lot of the teachers, unfortunately, I think they were burnt out, and now with what's going on, you just never know what, like with my son, he just graduated high school, and it's so important to know real history.
It's funny that you mentioned this, because when I hear people tell me, I didn't appreciate history when I was growing up, or I wasn't interested in it, I didn't like it, or it's because they weren't taught it well.
Right.
Correct. Exactly. Yes.
History is fascinating if you have somebody that knows it, understands it, and can teach it to you.
Right.
Yes.
And
there's missing a lot of that in school.
We truly are. And I've had the opportunity. I got a buddy down in San Diego that's a teacher, and I will go down and speak in his classes, and we talk about World War I or World War II, whatever he needs me to do. And oftentimes I'm shocked with the kids. Their eyes just open up. They're like, because they're seeing it, they're hearing it in a different way. It's not in a boring textbook. And it's like, what I hope is you're interested enough in what I'm saying today that you're going to go home and read about it on your own.
Right.
Open up that window in your mind and find that new interest.
Well, it's funny because it's funny you say that, because I feel like I learned all my history after I left high school on my own. Well, through movies. Obviously, movies would they were kind of the carrot that they would dangle, and then after be like, wait, was that true, or was that just a movie? And then I'd do my own research, and then I'd find out that it was a true story, or this war did happen, and that stuff was like always eye opening. Like, I mean, how long mankind has been in war. I mean, since the beginning, since the dawn, right? I mean, since what's his name killed his brother.
Cain killed Abel.
Cain killed Abel, and then also like just reading, reading my Bible, right? I mean, just reading the Bible, and you see all these war stories. Israel going against all these armies, or one guy going against all these, soldiers, and God protecting them. Like, and then finding out that these regions were real, and these, so it's so cool. Like, history is so cool.
But you have to have the right person who's passionate about it and that understands it, actually teach it the right way, because it's so true. Like, When I was in college, I took a history class, and it was a 3-hour class. And for the first 2 hours, we were in the classroom reading the PowerPoint on our own.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, no.
The teacher just pressed the button. She's like, "You guys done? There you go."
No. See,
and then after that, we went.
Are checked out.
Yeah, and then after that, we went to the computer room and did an assignment on our own. No teaching whatsoever.
See,
I learned nothing.
I've been really happy with YouTube, because it has allowed, there are professors out there that love this stuff so much that they've recorded, videos about American Revolution, or just different aspects of, world history. And they're animated, they're excited, they want you to understand the subject.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad to see that, because it's made history more accessible, because that is a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't even tell you what the history was focused on.
Yeah.
All I remember is like some sort of Asian thing. I don't know.
Jacob, have you ever seen this? It was this series that was on Netflix for a while. It was directed by Oliver Stone. I think it was called The Untold History of the United States of America.
Yeah, I've never seen it, but I know he did that.
That was pretty cool. It felt very unbiased, and See, those are the type of things I'll like kind of latch onto if I see a really well put together show. Do you have anything like that your kind of go-tos that you have?
I read a lot.
Okay.
I could probably start listing different authors that I like. It might bore you, but I always tell people with history, it is complicated. I don't care who you read or who you watch. Every single one of them is biased, and they are going to portray that history in a specific way that they like. It doesn't necessarily mean they're lying, but they may omit things. They may just give you the information that as they see it.
Right.
And so I always tell people, and I myself try to do this. I will take a subject that I'm interested. I mean, let's just say, I don't know, Pearl Harbor. I like to read a lot of different books by different authors on it, and you'll be surprised how often it's like, oh, I didn't understand, I didn't know that, or I've even read books written by Japanese authors covering their aspects and their understanding of World War II, and it allows you with your biases to sit back and make decisions and say, what do I believe?
Yeah.
I like that.
And it's that should be a lifetime thing.
Right. And you never really get a full picture of everything. So you're always kind of like left with like big question mark. You're like, oh, okay. Well, who really knows the truth?
I grew up with the understanding of how I really like World War I. I'm very interested in it. And, we're given the Germans were bad. And they had bad aspects of them. They did.
Right.
But it's a more complex story than that.
I'm
and
sure it is.
reading, papers written by their historians and kind of understand how they saw the world and their issues with different countries in Europe.
Because all we see is what they are telling us.
Yeah, exactly.
Not what's going on over there.
Yeah, and even in World War II with the rise of fascism and Adolf Hitler, like there's a whole story there about how that happened, and you really do need to understand how it did happen. And it's not as simple as the bad guys did X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
They may be bad, but there's a lot of things that went into that.
Yeah. The truth is always more complicated than what you think it might be.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Where did you grow up, Jacob?
California.
Yeah. What part though? As a little Jacob running around.
He lives
Yeah, you know
right down the street from me.
Yeah, I grew up just down the street from.
So Whittier?
Yeah, Whittier.
He lives on the same
As a kid,
street.
you grew up here?
I grew up here in Whittier.
Whoa.
He lives right down the street. His parents live right next to me.
So, like I said, I have deep roots here.
Wow.
My great uncle has an avocado ranch on Scott Avenue. When he died, my grandparents inherited it, and they sheared off a section of it and gave it to my dad. That's where he built his house. So
nice.
When I say I have deep roots here, I truly do.
That is true generational wealth right there, folks.
Do you still have avocados?
So there is one tree left.
Oh, wow.
And with my uncle's death, they sold that house. And my dad just had to. He just couldn't do it anymore. But it is now out of the family. Now my dad's house is still there, but that avocado tree is now on that other land. But it was the last one left. And from my understanding, it's still producing, and the new owners like it. They have picnics under it, and they pick the avocados. So.
I love that. I love avocados.
Oh yeah, we were renting a house one time in Downey. We had a giant avocado tree. We would find them on the floor sometimes with bite marks on them from like the rats or whatever critters at night were possums would eat the avocados. But I remember friends of my aunt would come over and pick avocados, and I thought it was weird. I was like, why are you guys picking those things from the tree? Like, I knew what they were, but I was like, that's nasty, because I thought you get that stuff from the market. You don't pick it from your backyard. But then now I really appreciate avocados. I freaking love avocados now. Avocado on toast, avocados and my
Chips.
Chips, guacamole. What is it? Teriyaki bowls. Oh yeah,
Everywhere.
Yeah, my grandmother made so much guacamole, and because we had those trees, and she was German, and the as I thought about it, it's like this German woman making guacamole that makes no sense.
Was it really good though?
It was, and I started thinking, it's like, okay, she would have known back in the 50s, probably a lot of Mexican women in the area that would have known, probably taught her how to do it.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she would have had friends and stuff like that. And I know as a kid, I remember a lot of those old ladies coming over to get avocados. So that's probably where she got the reference.
Okay, that makes sense.
But it's just a funny story,
That's so cool. Speaking of grandparents, remember Jacob 2 years ago? Mm-hmm. I mentioned that Lindsay's grandparents, one of them, she's got, from the dad's side, from the mom's side, right? And the dad, or just the mom's side?
Dad's side's German and mom's side is Sicilian.
Okay.
You're like me then.
You guys are.
I'm Italian, I'm Italian, but Italian and German.
Yeah. So, but remember, I don't know if you remember, I mentioned that her grandpa was like the first one to like put up a satellite in orbit, or he would.
My grandpa, my Papa John, so John Tuttle, who was a Marine, he ended up working for Howard Hughes, and he was actually the one to put up our very first satellite, which is why we're able to use cellular phones.
So if he worked for Hughes Aircraft,
yes.
How long was he there?
He was there for quite a while, because I remember...
Was he there into the 80s? Did he make it into the 80s?
No, not into the 80s.
The only reason I ask is because my dad worked for Hughes Aircraft.
Oh, my gosh. No wonder.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't there that long, but he traveled everywhere. I mean, they lived in... they lived in Europe at one point, Florida. They were always traveling. My mom, my aunt, everywhere. But no, not in the 80s. But he did tell my mom the story about the long toenails.
Yeah, Howard was a eccentric gentleman.
Yes, and I didn't know that until we watched the movie with
Aviator?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
So he's dead now. But there's a guy just down the road. His name's Sox Argyle. I went to church with him. He was Howard Hughes' personal bodyguard.
Oh, that is so
no
neat.
way.
And I heard all of his stories, and he talked about like all that stuff is legit, like all that stuff you saw in the movie.
Wow.
But so this guy knew all the starlets and all the crazy Hollywood stories with Howard. Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping. I mean, not that I wish anything like that on any person, but I was hoping most of it was real. The way Scorsese, portrayed it. My whole connection with Howard Hughes started very early, because when I was a kid, I used to beg her to take me to Long Beach to see the Spruce Goose. Yeah. Okay, in the White Dome.
By the way, you dated yourself.
It's okay. It's all right.
It ain't there anymore.
Yeah, the and then later I found out it wasn't Howard. I guess Hughes hated that name for that plane.
He didn't like it.
Yeah, it was actually the Hercules, something with a number. But that thing was like Disneyland for me. Oh, yeah. You know how like for some kids like Disneyland's like magical. Mm-hmm. Well, so you would go into that big dome, you would watch this movie like the history of the plane and Howard Hughes, and then how they got the plane there, and then all of a sudden the screen would go up, and then there was the plane.
Yeah, I remember.
Do you remember that?
I do. Yeah.
It was such a cool thing, man. Like, because it was like. It was like completely dark all around it, right? Yeah. But then like the plane was the only thing lit up. Like it was like this silver color, and it was huge. And then they had it like in this like water pond, so it could look like it, that's how it was meant to be in the water. And then you could climb up to it, and you could see like a mannequin of Howard in the plane. Mm-hmm. And then there was like a 1920s, 30s band playing in the background. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. I remember it all.
Yeah.
Hey, you wouldn't get it.
No,
yeah,
I don't.
You're just a little baby.
Don't get it.
For those of us that remember the 80s, right?
Yep. Yeah, I think I was 8 years old, 9 years old when it was still there.
When did they get rid of it?
Early 90s. Does that sound about right?
Yes.
Oh, so I wasn't even a thought.
What was the movie, the Jim Carrey Batman movie, where
Batman Forever?
So the Spruce Goose was already gone when they filmed that, because they filmed one of the Riddler's scene. I think it was his lair.
Yes.
That was inside the dome.
Yes. Yeah, they filmed a couple things, and I was so sad when they took it away.
Yeah.
Where's it at? It's in state up somewhere.
Is it Oregon or Washington?
I think it's
maybe?
Oregon. Yeah.
I can't remember. I remember when it left, but
Yeah, I want to go. One of my little dreams is to go visit it someday. I want to go say hi to it again. Yeah.
Neat piece of aviation history.
Yeah, and there was another, and then I think they also had his other plane. I think like the fastest plane at the time.
Yeah.
There was also a mannequin of Howard inside that one. It was hanging right next to the Spruce Goose.
Yeah, he was an interesting guy. I always figured his oddness was because of he was in so many accidents.
Yeah.
You know, he hurt himself a number of times.
Yeah,
brain damage kind of thing.
Yeah, he got some very serious accidents, concussions, all kinds of car accidents as well. It takes a toll.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was he got in that really bad accident, and that kind of, well, in the movie it kind of threw him over the edge, but I think he truly had like a mental illness for sure. He had some type of illness mentally.
Yeah.
We're going to be going through that. But also your mom's, is it your mom's grandparents?
My great-grandfather, John Galliano.
Yes, he had something he was involved in the Black Dahlia case.
He was,
Oh, really?
He was the LA district. Yeah, he was the attorney district.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah, so he
LA district attorney.
Yeah, LA district attorney, and he worked on the Black Dahlia case. Yeah, I have a lot of strong great-grandfathers in my family, and he did a lot of wonderful things back in the 40s and 50s.
Maddie Pleasant was the roommate or close friend of the Black Dahlia, singer at the time. She used to live here in Whittier.
Oh.
Yeah, and she died a few years ago. She was very close with the former mayor, and I've talked to him a little bit, and she kind of indicated that she knew who it was.
Oh.
And I know that they did a lot of interviews with her and stuff. There's a couple of books about it that have theories, but I don't know that we'll ever 100% know. But
Like who killed her?
yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Did you hear that thing about Jack the Ripper? They probably figured it out.
They know who he is now.
Yeah, they know, right?
Yeah. Guy by the name of Kazminski.
And also that the local police knew about it.
Yeah.
They kind of knew about it, but they, for whatever reason, they didn't deal with it, which is crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot to that story.
Yeah. But I saw that. I was like, man. But I guess they had figured it out a couple years back. But I was like, that's news to me.
He was a suspect at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was one of the ones that they kind of thought might be, but I think there was probably just a lot more to it, and they just never made an arrest.
Jacob, I have a question for you. So you have such wonderful interest in history and fashion. What made you want to get into the haunt industry?
Ooh.
Well, there's a good question. So I started working Scary Farm back in 1995.
Whoa.
That was my very first haunt.
Wow.
Yeah, and I always came to Knott Scary Farm as a guest. I was a big fan of it, just kind of like you. And I remember, driving down Beach Boulevard and always seeing the sign every year that they needed talent.
Mm.
And one day,
You went as a guest before though, right?
Oh yeah.
Do you, just like a side thing, I'm just very curious, what was your first, do you remember your first like maze or like?
Yeah.
What was it?
It was called the Bates Motel.
No way.
Yes.
I've heard this.
And it was over where what is over there now? It's the barn.
Oh, the Origins?
Yeah, Origins
Okay.
is there now. But
Wow, really? I didn't know they had that.
yeah, it was a very early maze. It was kind of based on kind of Psycho, but not really.
Right.
It was just
Like their own take on it?
Yeah, it was their own take. It wasn't even spelled like Bates from the movie. Probably for copyright infringement.
Right.
But I remember
It was Eight's Hotel.
I remember it was scary. Like I remember being terrified by it. And I look back at it now, it's like, well, maybe it wasn't quite that scary.
Right.
You know, as how old was I? Probably 11 or 12.
When you first went?
Yeah.
Really? I was probably on the same time I did.
Yeah, and I remember there was
Same
a bride with a severed head chasing me around, and that was, you know, back in the day, back when they would like chase you from room to room.
Yeah.
That's not allowed anymore. But that's one of my memories. The other big memory is I remember we were, you know, I was young. I was with my uncle, and he had his hands on my shoulders, and we were going through the crowds in Ghost Town, and it was just, you know, and he was trying to protect me, and well, kind of. Because, you know, all of a sudden I look up and there's a wolf man. He's literally had his hands on my shoulders, guiding me through the crowd, like something that would have never been allowed to happen.
Right.
But, you know, this is back in the day.
When there's no HR or anything.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the thing is, it was a wolf man. Like, it was real. Like, my little 11-year-old self, and I screamed. And I see my uncle just standing back, just laughing. And I'm just like, really? You know, so anyways, that was, but I must have really liked it because I came back every year, and I wanted to scare, and I remember seeing the phone number for casting, and I called it. Now it was very different back then.
The phone number.
Yes, so I called the number, and they said, "Be at Independence Hall at this day, and you could try out." And so they bring everybody in, and there's a ton of people. And they bring everybody in to sit down inside Independence Hall. They had kind of an auditorium in there, and they would bring you up in groups of 10 to basically stand in front of everybody and try out. And they would just throw stuff
in front of everybody?
In front of everybody.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And I went with my uncle, the same one, by the way. And, you know, he went before me, and I remember this was the oddest thing. They pointed to him. They said, "You, meet us over here." So I thought he must have done something wrong. Well, my uncle was 6'2", and they're like, "You're Bigfoot." So he got streets.
Oh, how
No
funny.
way.
Yes, he got streets.
Yeah. Size matters sometimes.
Wait, in Ghost Town?
Yeah. In Ghost
Wow.
Town. It was a new character. They wanted a Bigfoot, and he had the height that they wanted.
Wow.
So
Nice.
yeah. And with me, they sent me over to a maze called the House of Maniacs.
Do you remember what they had you do during your audition?
Do you know, they played music. They asked us to dance. A lot of it was very embarrassing.
You had to dance?
Yes.
What?
It wasn't even scary stuff like disco. And they're like, "Okay, let's see the movie."
Reenact the Bee Gees.
Yeah, exactly. And then they played a kind of a spooky organ song. And they're like, "Okay, pretend you're playing the organ. Okay, you're getting crazier. You're getting crazier." And then they stopped everything. And I don't remember who this guy was, but they went through each person and they said, "Scare me." Okay, so we're up on a stage. You know, it's like, okay, what? Like, how am I going to scare you from here?
Rawr.
And so my little 18-year-old stupid self, I still cannot believe I did this. He got to me, and I looked at him, I deadpanned it, I said, "Your doctor just called me. Your AIDS results came in.
Oh my gosh.
That was terrifying.
Jacob.
His face,
Wow.
his face just dropped
Oh my God.
because he did not know how to respond to that.
Wow.
At that time, that's horrifying.
Oh, yeah. This is 1995.
Yes.
And he
Oh
just
my
looked
gosh,
at I
dude.
remember it now. He had the clipboard, and he didn't know what to do. He put it down, and he just looked at me and he said, "Thank you, that will be all." And then he goes to the next guy.
Maze.
Yeah.
Maze for you.
Yeah.
You are not Bigfoot.
I think now I probably would have gotten walked out. Like, that's not appropriate. Yeah, that's not even funny.
Yeah, no.
Oh, that's great.
Hey, but he didn't say how to scare him. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
That would terrify anybody,
Well,
though.
he shocked him for
Especially
sure.
then.
No,
He shocked him.
because
I'm still scared to this day.
every person was just doing this. "Wah!" it's just. What would you do?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you got to go outside the box. I mean, everyone.
And that's outside the box. If anyone has ever
It was
been
about
outside
as
the box.
Yeah.
So, guys, if you guys are listening, you guys should try that this year. Go up to Pasta and no, I'm just playing. And Billy and
She hears this. Both of them are going to kill me.
No, that's a great story.
you guys got to actually try to scare.
I think we should go back to that format to where we just dance and play the organ, whatever.
Yeah.
The organ disco.
I was probably doing a mean, disco thing.
I would have been doing the.
Yeah.
I would have been doing Adam
Travolta
West.
moves.
Yeah, Adam
Yes.
West Batman when he's doing that bat dance and John Travolta for sure.
Oh, that's a
I
great
love that.
story.
That is funny.
That's a great story.
And here's the other thing. I got there at 1:00. I didn't leave there until after 10.
Oh my
That's the
God.
way it
Oh my
was back in the
gosh.
day, Yeah. Yeah, it was very different back then. Not just different organization, just the way they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a little more efficient now.
Yeah, a lot more efficient.
Yeah, they now what do they do? They give you an appointment and you show up on this date and this time.
And they tell you how long you're going to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a lot better about your time now, and I think they understand.
Yeah,
You have other things to do.
Yeah, we had Lucio on here, and he was telling us about some of the good old days too, where people would just line up early in the mornings and for the audition, and basically just have to wait in line, and sometimes.
Well, I remember 2018 even, we were standing out there and they did in Paranormal at the time. And it was hot as hell in there. They had a little tiny fan that did not work.
I auditioned in there, yeah.
Yes, and we were there all day long out there, and that's when they got Dark Entities. But yeah,
it's changed a lot.
Yeah,
they've
COVID helped.
Yeah, they've gotten a lot more efficient.
Yes. Yes.
That was my first year coming back after my long 3-year hiatus. I was C-filed for 3 years, and then I came back, and I tried to audition, and I was going for Carnival, and they actually auditioned inside of that room, and I think my old TC was there, Byron at the time. He was auditioning people, and he saw me, and he was happy, and I did my thing, and I was like, okay, so he's like, yeah, he's like, Dario, you're really good, but there's no spots for you in the streets. Everything's taken up right now. So they sent me straight to Pumpkin Eater.
which you were a year off from both of us.
Yeah, you missed me.
We just missed you. I missed you guys.
Which is funny because he's the first person I ever met at Haunt, and he's the reason I got Pumpkin Eater.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I heard that story. That's pretty cool.
That's the one thing I miss. I miss being able to do that.
Yes.
Hire a lot of the crew and whatnot. Because I felt like, from day one, you kind of built that rapport.
Yes.
And and it's gone. I think what they've done is probably better, but I miss it.
Right. I failed that Dark Entities or the 2018 audition on purpose because I knew I was going to Dark Entities.
Yeah.
I walked through the door and he's like, "This one's mine."
Yeah, that sounds like me.
Well, I'm sure being like in a management position, there's obviously pros and cons, and you probably can't have favorites, but I'm sure you do.
You just can't.
You can't, but I'm sure
Yeah.
deep down you probably do. But also at the same time, what are like the most complicated like operational struggles as a manager?
Boy, there's so many. It's what angle do you want me to go with?
Oh, man.
There's the guest aspect. Just I wish that all the guests were wonderful, but you have that small percentage.
Small.
Yeah, well, but also it's motivating your crew from day one to the end. And the problem that I have every year, and they're both going to know what I'm going to talk about here.
Yeah.
Those first 2 weeks, they are having fun.
Yes.
Week 3, it becomes a job.
Yes.
Week 4, it becomes a drudgery. By week 5, it's why did I do this? And you have got to motivate them and keep them getting that good show that they were giving week 1 all the way to the end.
But you do that. You do such a good job at that.
Well, thank you.
Every single year.
Hey, I was going to say that.
No, great minds think alike. But that means it's true. You know what I mean? Because every single year, I feel like every year you have a great cast. No matter who it is, who's on the cast, you do just a great job. Everyone just does a great job.
I've been very blessed with good people, but part of it too is I feel that everybody that works haunt, they have something about them that allows them to do that job. They all do something special.
Right.
And, you try to emphasize, hey, that you're doing is great. Keep up the good work. Let's see more of that.
Yes.
And, you just, even in those days that they're having a rough time, you remind them how cool this job actually is.
Yes.
Yeah. And you've heard, this is my motivation speech, and you both have heard this, but I remind them that we don't know where we're going to be next year.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And this might be your very last haunt. And when you are an old person, I want you to be able to sit down and say, boy, those were some great memories.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And just smile and be like, I took advantage of every moment I was at haunt.
Yes.
And now I have this catalog of wonderful memories that I can remember. And I can,
And you do a great job of helping us remind ourselves of that, to take in every night that we're there. You know what I mean?
Well, and you may remember this, usually by week 4, what do? Tell me your stories.
Right.
At the end of my meetings, it's like, come on, share some stories that are fun, these neat things that have happened. And it gets everybody like, okay, yeah, that's why I'm here.
Yeah, I mean, I do miss those meetings, to be honest.
Well, thank you.
And I think that's why you've been such a great and successful person for that role, because obviously, I mean, you were in the Goring 20s for, 5 consecutive years, right?
Actually, 4 total.
4 total? Sorry.
I wish it was 5, but yeah.
Well, it felt like 5, but
It felt like 5 to get, trust me.
but usually it's the max. The max is like 3, I think,
3.
right?
They don't like to do it much more than 3.
Right. Well, I mean, if the person's right for the job, they're right for the job. Just if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Just leave it, let it be. Because I felt like that zone had some of the most successful, successful steering of the ship that I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah, we got put off into a great direction.
Yeah, that's how it always felt with you. Because I first met you in 22. That was my first year on streets. And I felt very safe, and I felt like we knew where we were headed every night. It was like we had a rudder on the ship. Jacob was the rudder, and that thing was like he was steering us where we needed to go, and he knew where we needed to go. Yeah, and that made me feel like I could go and do my job. That made me feel secure in my job, and that's, I don't want to put anyone else down, but I don't, that's kind of a rare thing that comes around. You know what I mean? Like you're not guaranteed that type of leadership every year at Haunt or just anywhere, but you know what I mean? Yes. That's how that felt.
It was tough when, I knew, I had been told that 4th year, you won't be coming back. And that was really okay with me. But that last night, it was tough.
Yeah. Yep.
And I don't know if you were there. I think you were. But when I had everybody stop, and when everybody was walking back, and then stop and turn around and bow.
Yes.
And I basically clapped and said, Goring 20s. I don't remember what was that, 2024.
Yes. And
that was tough. That was knowing this is it. This is goodbye. But I felt that I left it in a very good place.
Yes, you did.
And I hope that I created a good enough culture that, it can continue on for years.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's still, I wish I could still hear some of those great quotes every night.
Everybody likes my quotes.
Yeah, I love those quotes. And no, but it was, I think you definitely left your imprint on G20.
Which is hard, though, because especially for me, when all my years at Haunt were under you.
Yeah, many of them were, yeah.
All of them except for last year.
Yeah, except for last year.
And so last year was kind of like, wow, Jacob's all the way on the other side of the park now.
That was a great maze, by the way, Mary.
Thank you.
It scared me a lot.
Yeah, I remember that one.
I went through with Dalen. I was terrified.
Yeah, they got her good.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, it's a scary venue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I also, I'm curious because I'm in a totally different field, being in makeup, but I've been in management positions where you have to plan and you have to prep your team. And so I'm curious, like when you're in this type of management position, like how far in advance do you prep yourself? And I know like the talent, you guys go in for your trainings before the season even starts, but how do you prepare?
So we're there over the summer for a couple of days. There's days, training days that we go in. We do radio training. We run around the park and stuff like that, call each other. I love it. It's because the park is empty and
that's cool.
We're running around with radios, making calls and stuff like that. And that's a lot of fun. But a lot of it is, for me, just having done it a long time. I take notes and things like that. And when we're there, I'm writing things down and about how I want to run things. And usually we're allowed to go through the venues that we're going to be running. So, I look at them and kind of figure out, okay, these are the different positions. These are where the talent are going to be.
Yeah.
And you just kind of familiarize yourself with what you're going to be managing.
How was it going back from, 4 years in a zone to back to a maze?
I was going to ask that.
Tiring. That's the word I'm going to give you.
Tiring?
More tiring?
So it's different from a zone.
So the first week I found was really rough because you're managing not just the talent, but also the line control and the blackouts.
That's right. Yes, because we don't have those.
Both your line control and your talent. I'm sorry, not your talent. Your line control and your blackouts.
Yes.
They tend to be very young. Oftentimes they're just out of high school,
Mm-hmm.
and oftentimes it's like their first job.
Yeah.
Your responsibility is kind of something new. So I oftentimes will have a separate meeting with them, just kind of go over expectations and things like that so they can be successful. I don't want anybody to have any problems. I want them to be happy while they're there, and I try to be as upfront as I can. The tired part of it for me is it's like, okay, get my line where it needs to be, and I got to run through the maze, make sure that, they're doing what they're supposed to be.
Yes.
And I'll get that done. It's like, oh, right, that blackout wasn't standing where he's, okay, I got to go back in, find that blackout. Okay, you need to move over here. It's just, you feel like that setup is just crazy. Then once it's all settled, usually first, second week, it's like streets.
Yeah.
I had heard some rumblings about that maze. They weren't so good in the beginning. But let me say that towards the end of the haunt, I heard nothing but good things about Mary. Like whatever that turnaround happened, whatever, and that's expected, right?
Yeah.
All the bugs and stuff are gonna come up in the beginning of something like that.
And that's exactly when I went through my very first night off. Mm-hmm. I went through, and I was like, oh, like everyone seems kind of like not there, just not in it. And then I went through the zoo and everyone was in it. And then when I went for my second night off towards the end, everyone was on top of things and the zoo was not on top of things.
I will tell you right now, I don't necessarily want to have a great first week.
Yeah, no, because that doesn't matter.
I want, and I even tell them, I said, I want you guys figuring this out.
Yes. Everything's new.
I don't stop at every position and browbeat them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're doing this wrong and this wrong and this wrong. It's like let them figure out their room, and then the gentle critiques come.
Yes, because I remember you would you would just basically say, if you have any questions, come and ask me, right? Instead of just being like, hey, you needed to stop doing this, right? Just let us figure it out.
Yeah, and I they're the one that have to be in there for 2 hours.
Yes.
And so that's kind of like you have to.
Is that what it is now?
No, they're not there that long.
Oh.
But they got to be in that spot for a while.
Uh-huh.
So they you got to move them where they need to be, and if you're just sitting there critiquing, they need to think about it.
Yes. Yeah.
So did you feel like you had to approach them a little bit different from your Goring cast?
Yeah, quite a bit actually, because a lot of them were just new. They never scared before.
Mm.
So these are like little babies. They're little baby plants or little baby chicks. You gotta
exactly
nurse them.
And there was a couple of them where it was interesting because it's like the desire was there, but the confidence wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
And
that's understandable.
That is something that I simply do not see with streets.
Yes.
the street. Sometimes I wish I would. Everybody knows that Streets is kind of known for a little bit of an attitude.
Yeah, little.
I'll let you guys say it.
Yeah.
And that's fine. They've worked hard to get there, so there's going to be a little bit of bravado.
Right.
Yes.
But what was interesting to me was I would see them, and it's like, you just need to take one step further, and you would have gotten a good scare. But the confidence wasn't there.
Yep.
And so sometimes I'd take them out and work with them a little bit. Sometimes I'd bring one of my long-suffering assistants over, and I'd have them stand. It's like, okay, figure out where your spacing is. Let's develop that scare. And once they kind of realize that that they can do it, then all of a sudden that problem stops.
Yes.
But no, confidence is definitely. It's like in the summertime, it's like, oh, I want to get in there, I want to scare, and then all of a sudden they're standing in that room in the costume.
Yep.
And it's like, what do I do?
Which is funny because usually like the costume is what brings it out.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting when it's the other way around.
Yeah. It is very interesting.
That's the big difference, right? Is the confidence. And I've kind of debated this in my mind, or I've gone over it in my mind, and I'm thinking like, I feel like to a certain degree, a lot of people on the streets, there's a lot of ego there. But I on the other hand, a lot of people say, well, you shouldn't have an ego when you go out there. And I'm like, yes and no. The thing is, it's like the ego is like a fire, right? If you learn how to control it when you're out there working, just like a fire, you learn to control it. It cooks your food for you. It could be a good thing. But if you let it get out of control, and it burns everyone up around you, that's when it's a problem. So I feel like for me, like I have to have that bravado out there. I have to be, up here, I have to have that confidence in myself, whatever you want to call it, ego, confidence. It's all got to be there in order to give them the show.
Right.
And then when I get backstage, I turn it off or switch it off. And then, I disarm and I relax. And then when I get back out there, I bring it back up. But I've always because there's a lot of people that, within, monsters, oh, that guy thinks he's all that and this and that. I was like, well, it's kind of good. We need him to be all that out there. The problem is when they bring it backstage or, in the Instagram or on the Facebook, that's when it's the problem.
Yes.
But when we need it out there, I think it's a good thing.
I remind, and this is something I've told the people in Streets. This is something I've told to people in mazes. It is an orchestra. Mm-hmm. And I've actually showed my crew, literally showed them music playing in an orchestra. Mm. And it's like, you see the guy with the triangle back there? You don't think he's that important because all he's doing is hitting that triangle. Yeah. But you take him out and you start taking a couple of those other smaller instruments that you don't think are important, and suddenly we don't have the same sound that we did. And so really, regarding ego, it's like, you may be big and bad and you're getting your scares and you're wonderful, and that's good. We need it. But that person over there that maybe does a more timid scare, or maybe they're more atmosphere, they're just as important. They are just as important.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
And I have experienced before when I have had talent that I didn't think their role is that important. It's like, okay, is anybody going to really miss this guy when he's gone, and he's gone for the night? And suddenly it's like, oh man, I've got this hole over here.
Right. Yeah,
right. There's usually stuff is going on, and now it's not.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's important. Everybody's important.
Yes. Everybody's important. Yeah, and some are going to have a little more oomph than others, and that's okay. We need all those pieces to be in play when we're out there. Definitely. Did you have? You're probably not going to give me the answer. Did you have a favorite year of G20?
Oh boy.
Oh, I have a good second question after that.
So, I will tell you that opening year of G20.
Oh, there's nothing like it.
Was fascinating, and I'll never forget it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because it really was trying to figure out, this was new, this was different.
Yeah.
It was something that, as far as I'm aware, I've never really seen it haunt before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people were calling it Scary Ghost Town Alive.
Yeah.
It was,
yeah.
But I loved watching the interaction, and I loved watching the talent create and roll into those
and
roles.
figure ourselves out.
And
it was interesting.
And I would have to be my favorite just because I don't know that you could ever replicate that.
No.
Right.
You know,
especially that last night.
Yeah, that last night. That was a very special evening.
I've heard about this
Yeah.
story about the last night on the first year.
Everyone was just crying.
Yeah, they were. And, you know, I was kind of in the middle of it watching you guys all kind of do your thing. And, I just think there was just that realization that everybody had such a good time.
Yeah.
And it was ending. And it wasn't ever going to happen again.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there'll be another G20. There always will be. But it's not the same people. It's not the same time in your life. There's just things about it that you can't replicate.
Right.
Yeah.
That was, what a year.
Yeah.
I have a question. Would you cast Brooklyn in G20? That was when I came out.
Yeah, I remember when Brooklyn showed up in my zone. I was called security. Who's this random guest?
Wait, that reminds me of the first year of Pumpkin Eater.
What happened at Pumpkin Eater?
When we didn't know that you were coming through as a monster.
Oh my gosh!
So we didn't know it was a thing.
I never heard this story.
Okay. We got to back up.
Yeah, go ahead,
Okay.
please.
So we got permission to scare, and I told my whole crew in both meetings that there will be a guest scarer in the venue.
Nobody caught that it might be him?
No. I was like, well, because the thing was, before that, we had people from Ghost Town come through. So we're thinking like, like another Ghost Town monster.
Oh, okay.
So I decided, okay, so I'm going to show up in the front and I'm going to scare with everybody in every single room. So I get up to the first room and I'm scaring with the female talent that's in there, and she's got a scared look on her face that is not. It is more scared than what her character should be. And she just gets this worried look and she up and leaves. And I'm like, is it a break time? A few minutes later, I see her tramping back with security.
Oh my goodness.
And security walk up to me and they're like, "Are you supposed to be here?" I'm like, "I'm the manager." And I see her hands go up like this. And she just leaves.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And so I'm like, okay, this didn't work. So I go through the maze, and I scared in a couple of the rooms, but I was trying to get to the break room, because you remember how you had to walk through the maze?
Where that flying
and I
pumpkin
popped
was.
through the curtain, I'm like, really, guys? And that female talent was there, all upset. She's like, well, I was looking all over. I was really upset. I was looking all over for Jacob. I'm like, well, you found me.
Well, it was funny because right before you came out, like we had all, like you didn't make it to my room, obviously. And so I had gone on break. I didn't know you were there.
Yeah.
And as soon as I walked backstage in our break area, everyone's like cussing. They're like, who the fuck is this guy that's coming in there scaring? He doesn't even look like a monster. And they're going off and off and off. And then like you come through and they're like, there he is. It was just you.
What did he look like? What were you dressed like, Jacob?
So when I went down to get the costume, Tim had like nothing.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, you remember it looked awful.
Yeah, it looked like a guest came in.
So
no wonder.
So he's like, do you have any black pants? Like, I have some cargos. He's like, wear those and a black shirt, and I'll give you. And he gave me this. It was like this cloak, and this mask that didn't really work for the event.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, it did. It wasn't terrible, but it was like, but it wasn't something that you guys were familiar with.
No, not at all. I didn't even know. I was like, what zone would this even go with?
It was from the Hollows, so it actually was.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, it was
from that area.
Yeah, but it was after everybody settled down. We had a good time. But I have never done that since. I have always told everybody,
That was such a good time.
Yeah, it was funny.
Oh, man, I missed
Wish
that.
I could have seen that. I was envisioning maybe you show up as Peter or something.
Yeah, not tall enough.
Well, I mean, I was Peter.
Yeah, you were Peter, yeah.
We're about the same height.
Yeah, that's true.
Man, that mask was horrible.
You're telling me mine was like, I don't think I think mine, because I think the guy that I took the position of, he had quit, and so they didn't have that mask for me because he was a bigger guy, and so I just had like a mask that wasn't finished because I didn't have the whole neck. So
that's right. I remember that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was bad. But man, what a fun time that was.
Yeah, that was a good evening. Just see, that's what I'm talking about. That's one of those little memories that you're just always gonna have.
It's never gonna go away, man.
Yeah.
That whole season
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was a great venue.
What did you do for Mary? Did you scare?
So I scared in Goring, and then I got permission to go and scare inside Mary. And so I had a lot of fun with them.
What'd you dress as? Same thing?
I went just the gangster stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I just kind of went through and scared in each one of the rooms, and yeah, we had a good time.
I was hoping you would say you were Mary.
No.
Say her name 3 times.
That'd be great, right? Imagine Jacob.
Actually, you know what? I probably could have thrown that dress on and just run through the venue.
Yeah, I think that's what scared me. Someone was like touching me, like tried to touch me, and then was chasing me throughout the entire maze in Mary. Because I was with you. And
I think
Ryan.
everything scared you in that maze.
I think everything did too. Actually,
It's a scary venue.
it was amazing.
Try walking through Mary when nobody's there.
No.
So I would get there before anybody else.
Oh no.
The bat would go in and turn it on, and then I don't know where he went to his meeting or whatever. So everything's on, and for those first couple of days, I had to figure out what all the stuff that moved around that. Cause you know, sometimes you get things out of the corner of your eye. It's like, okay, was that supposed to do that?
Especially there at Knott's.
So here's the scary story.
Oh.
So I'm walking through the hair, the hair.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it, but the bat had come in. So he's going through the opposite direction. And so I'm going through the hair, and all of a sudden, bam, there he is. I about lost my mind. I'm like, don't do that. He's like, well, I heard you come. And I'm like, you could have said I'm in the venue.
Yeah, I mean, anything at Knott's, man, especially there. Yeah.
Well, guys, speaking of scary stories and scary stuff, and now, Ghost Stories with the Dope Boyz. Jacob, do you have any type of ghost story?
Does he?
I own a ghost tour.
This is the number one man you want to ask.
Do you have a personal experience with a ghost or any type of really good story or scary story that you know of?
So I actually came prepared.
Okay, good.
So during Halloween, I got permission to run a ghost tour out of Pio Pico's mansion.
Oh, I can't
Now,
What is that place?
so if you don't know,
I don't.
the last Mexican governor of California had a house here in Whittier. A lot of people don't know that. Don Pico, very, very wealthy man. One point, he was the most wealthy man in California. I mean, huge landholder. Died penniless. Long story about that. But the house is still here. And I got permission with the state of California to run a ghost tour there because they have a lot of ghosts. And I'm doing my tour, and there's kind of a main room. And this is a room where Don Pico would have, back in like the 1870s and 80s, this is a place that he would have entertained. So there would have been, wealthy Californios, even Anglos that had a lot of money. They would have been hanging out with him, having dinner, dancing. But this is also the place that if there was the need, if somebody died, this is where they would have had a wake. Right?
Okay.
So this is that room where you would have done those things. And so I did a lot of research on Pico, and I knew that his son, or his illegitimate son, had been murdered. But I didn't have a lot of information on it, or what I should say, I had conflicting information. One story said that he got beat up at a place called Jimtown. Another story said that there was a bar fight and he got shot. So I started pulling up old California newspapers. Finally, I found one. And he was shot by a lover.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
The son?
The son. The illegitimate son.
Okay, the illegitimate son.
But there's even debate about whether it was her or not.
Oh.
Because, so he's at the front of the house, and she shows up, tells him that she's pregnant. He doesn't want anything to do with her. He leaves. She follows him. The brothers who are on the porch hear a gunshot. She runs around the porch screaming, I just killed him. I just killed him. Well, sure enough, he's face down, dead in the dirt.
Oh, shit.
There's a bullet hole in his back. He's dead. She's arrested. When the sheriff looks at the gun, and finally when they pull the bullet out of his back, they don't match.
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
And the gun had not been fired.
Oh.
What?
Yeah. So to this day, we don't know who shot Don Pico's son. Now, here's the ghost story. So I just told you all this.
Right.
So I am telling this story in the room where he would have lied in wake. And there's furniture, these Victorian fainting couches. And there's a girl, a young lady standing next to me, and she's got her phone out. And she stops me. She's like, look at this. And she's holding her phone. Do you know those cell phones where when you're getting ready to take a picture, it outlines the body, like
Yes.
so you can pose?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, it's outlining a body, but there's no body sitting there.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, does your phone do that? She's like, it doesn't.
Oh,
And
no.
so she takes it away, and I said, do that again. She does. Now, the second time, you can see him move his legs.
No.
He shifts his body.
What?
And I'm like, so I said, okay. I said, take it and put it on the other chair. Nothing. Nothing at all. Puts it back. It's in a slightly different position. He was sitting there listening to us tell the story.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
No.
In a way, that's kind of cool, though.
Now, here's my thought on this. Okay, as far as I know, he's never gotten justice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you go there, they will tell you a different story about how he died. They will tell you there was a bar fight over at Jimtown. He got shot. So sad. That's not what happened to him.
Oh, shit.
I have the original newspaper article, so I think I'm telling his story, and he's like, yeah. Yeah, that's what happened.
Because he's so sick of hearing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
He's finally hearing his
Yeah.
truth.
Yeah, and he's shown up other times. There's a worker there, takes care of the grounds, and when I got permission from the state, they rounded up all the gardeners, all the workers, said, you know, they all have stories. You know, why don't you sit and talk to them? Mm-hmm. And he told me, he's like, let me tell you, he's like, there's a guy. He's like, it's old Mexican clothing, and I'm like, does he look like when you say Mexican? He's like, I mean, old school Mexican, like 1880s,
Wow.
1870s. He's like, and he's like, I've seen the big hat, and he's like, I've seen him walking that direction, and then he disappears.
Oh,
I
shit.
think it's the son, because he walked around the house, and that's when he was shot.
Yes.
So I think that's when he disappears. That's when
he gets shot.
That's when the bullet.
So
hit.
he's reliving
That's what
that
I think
moment.
It is. Yeah. So
Oh, he hasn't
That's-
crossed over, maybe.
possibly.
Probably because it hasn't been solved.
Yeah. So
That's so
Kind of
sad.
stuck or something.
I've got a woman that I'm friends with who sees dead people. Like it's more than just like, oh, I see movement. No, like
Right.
she can literally see them.
Yes.
And so we're going to work out and go over there and go through the house, because there's not just him. There's a couple of other spirits that people over the years have experienced, but we don't have names to.
Right.
And so I'm kind of hoping maybe we can figure out how some of these people are. Do you want one more real quick?
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Take as long as you want.
This came to me. So I always love on my ghost tour, I've got people that pull me aside after it's over. They're like, hey, you know what, let me tell you my story. And so when I was talking about that I'm going to be developing a tour over there, this lady, she's like, let me tell you what happened to me over at Pico's. So she's a little girl, and she's 10 years old, and she's first generation American, so parents are from Mexico. So she grew up speaking Spanish. She knew Spanish. And so she's with her school class, and she sees the area where the kitchen is. There's a little dining area. And this señorita comes out, old school Mexican clothing. And she smiles at this little girl. And she motions to her in Spanish, come here, come here. And she's like, okay. So she follows her, goes into this other room. She's not there.
Oh.
She's not there.
Oh.
And I'm like, she spoke to you. She's like, yeah. She spoke to me in Spanish. So his servants back in that time, the 70s and 80s, they would have spoken Spanish because that's what he spoke.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've had all these experiences now, especially doing the tours and hearing all these stories from different people.
Yeah.
But when you were a kid, did you ever experience anything?
Oh boy. So
Do you remember the very first time you?
yeah, and I'll do you want that story?
Yes, please.
So it connects back to how we started with my Uncle Arnold.
Okay.
So I am probably 4, maybe 5, and I'm sitting on the couch watching cartoons over at my grandma's house. And my uncle comes out, and I start hearing noises. I hear the gate is moving. And he's like, guess Uncle Arnold's back.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, Uncle Arnold? I heard about Uncle Arnold. So I get my little 5-year-old self up, and I turn around and I look. Now that gate, it's shaking. And then it opens.
Oh.
It opens just a couple of inches. And my uncle's like, that's the ghost. I remember it so vividly. So we always figured it was him. I mean, that was his property. It was his gate.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And I will tell you something else funny about that story. Years later, my grandpa decided to get rid of the old 1940s fence and gate. Replaced it with a wrought iron one. They had a latch. The old gate was it just swang. This one had a legitimate latch on it. And my dad told me that he'd look out the window in the middle of the night, he'd hear it shaking, but it never opened. But then one day, click, it opened. It's like the ghost figured out how to open it.
Every night he's trying.
Arnold figured it out.
Yeah. Arnold's learning new tricks.
Wow.
He's trying to relearn.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's like in the movie Ghost, where he's the other ghost is the subway ghost is trying to teach Patrick Swayze how to use his energy to flick the can.
Yeah.
Like maybe they have to like learn how to flick stuff.
The thing is, my dad's not one to make something like that up. Like
Right.
he never really talked about, the ghost or anything like that. But he did tell me though, he's like, that house is weird.
Yeah.
And because he grew up there, and he's like, there's just something odd about that house.
So is it like from like those kind of things that started happening and you experiencing and like hearing those stories? Is that what got you interested in ghosts?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And like, did you always believe in them?
Do you know? I can't think of a time in my life where I really didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think just as a young age, it's just kind of okay. They're there.
Right. Right.
And people ask me this, like, well, do you believe every ghost story that you hear? And I don't.
Right.
I talk to I interview a lot of people, and people share stories with me. But I will say one thing that's interesting, and for those that don't believe in ghosts, I tell people this. I have found that people, when they tell me the story, they are very earnest. Like, they really want to be believed.
Yes.
And oftentimes they're confused with, I don't really understand what just happened to me.
Yes.
Right.
And you've heard the ghost stories on my tour. The one that we talked about at the school with where she was taking the shower.
Yes.
And she heard the door close and the footsteps. It's a great story, but when she told that to me, she's like, I don't believe in ghosts. Like, I don't. And I go, well, what do you think now? She's like, well, I kind of have to now.
Yeah.
But there was this uncomfortableness about it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think she wanted to have that experience. And
Right.
And I don't even know that she really wanted to share it with me, but it was just like, yeah, this happened to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you ever fearful of ghosts growing up, or was it just kind of like a matter of fact type of?
A little bit, because it's the unknown,
Yeah.
And you never know what's good, what's bad.
Yeah. And, so it's, I would never say that I'm not a person that would go out looking for trouble.
Same.
And I know people that do, and sometimes they find it.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to be very careful with that type of door that you open.
Yeah, and I feel, and I had somebody tell me this one time, that it was actually on the tour that you guys did in the museum, that the ghosts appreciate me because I'm allowing their stories to be told.
Yes.
And so that's the relationship that I want. And
You leave them where you're
Yeah.
for the job.
Yeah, exactly. So
Well, it's funny because we just did your tour.
yeah, you just did it.
And just real quick, we like on the tour, we had the ringing sound that kept going on.
Yep.
And then there was that one room where was like the recreation of like a house or something. You were telling the story about someone, and there's a glass case right there filled with stuff.
Yep.
And there was like knocking on the glass case, and at the same time I heard the knocking, the person that was working there with you heard footsteps
Yep.
behind us. And then at the end of the tour, we heard a big old crash from the room we just came from, where the was it the train?
Yep.
Well, when we got home, Carly said she got grabbed on the tour.
Yeah, that you know, you're not the first.
I've never.
Was it your body or was it your hair?
It was my arm.
Yeah.
Grabbed your arm?
They grabbed your weenus?
No, it's right here.
Oh,
just above the weenus.
squeeze.
So that happened. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember her telling me that. But we got home. What? And we were in a room, and the door was locked, right? And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, and this was like not too long after we got home,
Oh no.
the door handle started
Oh boy.
Here we
like
go.
it was trying to
left
come in.
something home. Yeah.
Luckily, it was locked. But yeah, so I mean,
You didn't
Well,
really?
So you can bring it home with you?
I mean,
Yeah, it happens.
It happens. Yeah, she's had so ever since then. She's had stuff like weird stuff happen. Like, for example, like this sliding door. Like you can only unlock and lock it from the like the nail on the bottom through like a hole, and so it's always locked because there's a doggy door. It was unlocked when it was we never unlock it really, and so it was unlocked, and then she keeps like there's been things that she's lost for like months and months and months. And they just show up in plain sight.
Yeah.
Like in a drawer that she uses every day as a shirt that she's been missing for months, a lip gloss or glasses or whatever in her purse or whatever.
Oh, no.
It's just weird stuff like that. Like it's a helpful ghost, I guess.
At least it was helpful.
Yeah, it's helpful so far. I mean, I don't know if it's trying to trick us.
Do you guys want one more?
Yes.
Jacob, do you ever say prayers though before you go
always.
to work?
Always.
Oh my gosh.
What about after? Like, please don't follow me.
I think we should all say a prayer before leaving
We
Carly's.
also in the museum we thank them. We thank them.
Yeah, that's smart.
We always thank them.
Oh, I see.
So
Yeah, because like even at like the haunted museum, I don't know if you've ever
Yeah.
been. There's ones where you have to literally say hello, their name,
Yeah.
and then goodbye, their name.
yeah. Like I said, we are always respectful.
Yes.
So
Excuse
a number
me.
of years ago, I worked for Disney. And I worked, I did a lot of different things, but I worked in the Shorts building in Burbank. Now, if you know anything about the history of Disney, the Shorts building is special. That is where, they call it the Shorts building for a reason, because the old 1930s and 40s cartoons, that's where they animated them. Mm-hmm. So the old Shorts. And so it was a building that those old school animators, that's where they worked, while Disney came in and out there all the time. And I took the train, and so I would usually get in. I got in before anybody else was there. And I would get in, be like 6 in the morning, sometimes 6:30, and I'd just sit at my desk and I'd start working. And without fail, usually about 10 minutes after I got there, I would hear footsteps on because it was hardwood floors. This is a 1920s building. Mm-hmm. It was over at the old Hyperion studio, and he moved it to Burbank. And so I'd hear these footsteps, just walking across the floor. And then I would hear a hack, like a
Oh, no.
And it was like, it was the individual was stopping, cough, hack, hack, hack,
And then
continue to walk.
oh wow.
And I heard it, probably every day. And I commented to one of the engineers. I said, who is it that's getting in at like 6:30 that coughs? I said, my grandpa was a smoker. I know what a smoker's hack sounds like. Who is the guy? And he's like, nobody smokes here. And I said, I hear it at this time. And he's like, I don't know what that'd be. And started talking to a couple of other guys. And then just in passing, I'm talking to this one guy. His name was Tim Muck. And I remember he had a weird name, so that's why I remember it. And I mentioned it. And he's like, that's Walt.
I was going to
like-
say that, but I don't want to ruin the story.
And I'm like, as in Disney? Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah. He's like, that's him. He had a smoker's hack. And he's like, I've heard it too. He's like, don't worry about it. And he's like, he knows you're new here. He's like, it'll stop. He's just letting you know that he works, that this is his building.
Oh, that's
Wow.
Really,
And
that's actually really neat.
It did stop, but here's the thing that was chilling. So Neil Gabler is a historian that wrote a book about Walt Disney. So I read the biography because I worked for Disney.
I think I read that one.
Yeah, you might have.
Yeah.
It's a good book. It's
The American...
I think it was American Genius or something
Yes,
like that.
yes, yes.
Yeah, and
Love that book.
There's a part in it that talks about how the animators always knew when Walt had entered the building because they heard his smoker's hack.
Really?
It was a very distinct hack.
Yeah.
And they knew it. It's like, okay, Walt's here. And they all kind of freaked out a little
Man
bit.
in the Forest.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of weird though? That's
Yeah.
like, it's crazy.
Oh, it's a wild story. I
Wow.
mean, it's one of those ones where.
And you experienced it.
I did.
Dang, so we got like a direct,
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah.
firsthand
Knew that
source.
you were new there. That's
And
really
here's the thing.
interesting.
You know, it did stop. He said it would stop. And I heard it a couple more times. And then I never heard it again. And I was there for like a year, and then I moved somewhere else. And I mean, maybe they're playing a joke on me or something like that. But, I mean, you know, I heard it.
That's really, I like that
Yeah.
story.
That's
That
a
is-
great story.
So-
But I also love how like people like form like their story to it. Like, you know,
Yeah.
oh, it's just that, you know, it's just Walt. You know what I mean? It's like, it's funny. Like where that, I just was wondering who like the first one was to discover that.
But when I read it in the book, it chilled me to the bone.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of like, it was that confirmation.
You
because-
read it after?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
Because
gosh, I would have got the chills for
when
sure.
Tim had told me that, I mean, to me, that's just Tim telling a story. It's like, okay, this is the explanation.
Right.
But then when I saw that there's historical evidence, the animators knew that Walt was coming because of his hack.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool.
Then there's confirmation.
That's
Yep.
so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
you're that confirmation. That's crazy.
So
Wow.
it's a great story. I
I
don't-
love
you know,
that story.
So
Yeah, I have a story. Actually, just hearing your stories triggered a story I totally forgot. I completely forgot. It's kind of tragic, but I'm fine when I tell it. So my dad, he was murdered when he was like 19 years old, at a
terrible.
gas station. Yeah, it's like one of those comic book superhero origin stories.
Spider-Man.
yeah, that does explain a few things.
Yeah, no, but it was his first night as a manager, I believe.
Wow.
And they had just got back from a wedding in Mexico. My uncle had gotten married, and they had got home. He took a little nap. He said he didn't feel good. He had like a headache or something, and then he had to be at work at 12 because it was going to be his first night as his new job in that position. And then a little bit after midnight, he was robbed and then killed. And so what's crazy, so that was a story I've known my whole life, right? I've been told that story repeatedly. So a couple years back, I had a dream. Because I knew where the gas station was at. At the time, it was World Gas gas station. And then now it had become like a Shell or Chevron or something like that, right? It had changed ownership, but it was still in the same spot in San Pedro. So I had this dream where I'm at the gas station at nighttime, and my father's walking around the perimeter of the gas station. Now, around the gas station, there's apartments. I don't... In real life, there's a wall that covers the apartments, but in the dream, the wall was down, and there was just, he was kind of just walking around. And then in the dream, the feeling I kept getting was like he's stuck. He's stuck there or something. So I was like, that's weird. So I wake up and, I kind of keep the dream to myself. And for whatever reason, I think that week or maybe a couple weeks after, I was going to go visit my grandmother, his mom in San Pedro. So I go visit her. I finished the visit, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to stop by the gas station. So I stopped by the gas station. I didn't have to pump gas or anything. I get off. I just park. I get off, and I'm just looking around, and it's just quiet. And I'm trying to see if I feel anything. And then so all of a sudden I'm like, I want to go talk to the person that's in the booth, right? Because that wasn't the original booth that's there now. It's a new one. The original booth was knocked down. They used to have one of those kind of like a tow booth. So after you pay the gas, they would lift the little booth and then you could go free. So I go, hey, there was a young girl there. I was like, hey, this is gonna sound kind of weird, but have you experienced anything paranormal here? Like, she's like, what do you mean? Like I don't want to scare you. I go, kind of like ghost activity, like things moving. As soon as she says that, she starts smiling. She's like, she starts smiling. I go, you've seen something? She's like, yeah, sometimes like behind me, like I feel like someone's standing there. And then like I turn around and I see somebody like move fast, or like move kind of quickly. And then sometimes, right here, the little tray where you put the money through the window, sometimes it shakes.
Oh.
It shakes. And then sometimes she's like, when we come in, we find like everything like messed up. She said, well, the guys are kind of messy, but no, like sometimes it's like messed up. And I was like, okay. Okay, well, something is here, so I just kind of like, well, I think it's my dad. I don't know. It might be. I told him his name, and I think that it might be him. I don't know.
Yeah, could be.
So when somebody dies in that tragic way, with so much to live, to live for, and he just had me. I was like 4.5 months old.
Oh.
And so I didn't, I don't remember him. I have no memory of him. But, I thought that was interesting. I don't know what that is. A lot of people are like, well, you need to talk to him. You need to go there and talk, or I don't know. But whatever that was, and ever since then, I haven't gone back or, had any weird dreams. But it always makes me wonder, like, how the other side works, like how things operate in that realm, like, are people in a continuous loop? Are people free to do whatever they want, or are they landlocked in a way?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just don't know. I mean,
big mystery.
There's a lot of theories.
But the thing is, like, like when we, like, a lot of your stories, they're always of people from a different time, a long time ago.
They tend to be.
Right.
Some are more recent.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's fascinating, how that works.
Yeah. I think there's some that they don't want to move on for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of explains it. But,
yeah.
We'll never know.
We'll never know. And this concludes Ghost Stories with the Dope Boys.
So I want to ask real quick, because we go hiking all the time.
We do.
And you go. I see your posts all the time. You're always at a different adventure. Putting that Jeep to use.
I definitely.
Where did that start?
The hiking.
The adventure.
Oh, jeez, my whole life. I love adventuring.
Yeah.
I love pushing the limits.
Indiana
exploring.
Jones.
You remind me of an indie.
I am. Except
Do you love those movies, by the way, like
of
I do?
course.
Stupid question.
Here's the difference. I'm real. He's not.
Yes, he even has the hat.
Yeah.
Oh, one time I don't want to say caught, but I noticed that he was wearing a pair of indie boots at work.
Oh, I have a pair.
They're called Aldens.
Yep, they are.
They're the boot that Harrison Ford chose to wear as the character, and he chose that boot because he wore them when he used to be a carpenter.
Yep.
So he chose that particular boot for that for Indy.
Wow.
And then so my whole life I wanted those boots.
They're hard to find.
So I found them, and they were like $600, and I'm like, I'm gonna get them, and I got them, and they're a heavy boot to wear.
They are.
They're a heavy boot to wear, but yeah, I have a pair of Aldens as well.
It's a 30s design, which is why he was allowed to wear them. But they're beautiful. I love wearing them.
Yeah.
And I'm actually surprised how many people, like you noticed.
Yeah.
People notice.
Yes. Beautiful boot.
Yeah. But to answer your question, I like adventure. I really do. And there's a lot of it here if you know where to look.
Yeah.
I mean, my my new thing last summer, I found a flooded mine up near Baldy. You see the pictures. And that was amazing. And it was really hard to find. Me and my buddy were like, we're mapping things out. We're on Google Earth, and because nobody will tell you where it is. But you know, you've heard the story about King Tut and the explorers that found the tomb, and how literally how blown away they were when they found it. And I remember, you know, we're going through this thick. I'm not going to call it jungle because they don't have jungles here, but you know, we're going through the forest where we both had machetes, we're hacking stuff away. and all of a sudden we got to the top of this hill. We're like, it's not here. It's supposed to be here, but it's not here. And you know, my friend sits down. He's like, I need a rest. We're covered in sweat. We're exhausted. And I just took a couple of steps, and then I look down, and I see the portal. And I just turned to him. I'm like, I found it. I found it.
The portal?
Well, that's what the front of a mine is called, a portal.
Oh my gosh. It must have been like, you know, that song that comes on when you're on the Indiana Jones ride, like,
it absolutely was. And, you know, both of us were just like jumping up, like, we found it, we found it. And, you know, I mean, it was an 1860s era gold mine that, because it was built back into the Baldy Mountains, as the snow would melt, it would leach into the mine. And in the 1930s, there was they were doing some road building back there, and they realized that if they dammed the front of it, it would flood, and they would be drinking water for them. And so they left. They never took the dam away. And so, you know, if you know where to go, and we figured it out, you know, we jumped in that water up to our chest, and we walked all the way through that mine. There's two different, they call them drifts, tunnels that go in different directions.
Wow.
So we explored all those. The cool thing was we found 1930s beer bottles.
What?
Whoa. Now, here's the crazy part. They had become part of the wall because of all the dripping water coming down. The calcite had taken those 1930s bottles, and now they're literally becoming part of the
Well, that just answered my question. I was going to be like, did you take any home?
You don't take anything out of a mine.
Yeah, because then it's haunted. Yeah, there's haunted right there.
But it belongs in a museum.
There you go. But that was a pretty amazing thing. And, you know, I found some other interesting things over the years. Like he mentioned, I jump in my Jeep, and we plot trails way off in the desert, and we just go explore and find sand dunes and old mines and little old camping areas and all kinds of.
But what I like though is like you always like when we did the ladder.
Oh yeah,
which that one is still my favorite.
Yeah, it's a beautiful hike.
But we've done that twice now.
We have, yeah.
And I remember the first time we did it with Brian, right?
Yeah, it was.
That was the first one. And I remember there was like a part that you hadn't explored yet, and you're like, I'm going to explore that next time I come, so that next time we can go.
Yeah.
You know, but my favorite thing is that you just like go for it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And just where is it going to take us? You know.
And you never know. Sometimes it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
There was one time I was up on this ridge line. The trail petered out. I'm still walking, and when the trail goes away, you start realizing, okay, I should probably turn around. Sometimes that's the way it works out.
Yeah.
But, my wife has this thing. I'm not allowed to die.
You have a contract with her.
Almost any time I go out, she's like, "Now don't die." Okay, and the kids have to come home. Okay, so there is a level of planning and care.
Yeah, you're very smart about the time of the season, what's happened.
Oh yeah,
weather-wise, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because I remember we've had to cancel some.
We have.
And change, wasn't the Hollywood sign like a different?
Yeah, we had to go to a different.
Because we were going to do.
I think we were going to do Baden Powell.
Yes, we were. Yes, we were.
Yeah. So sometimes that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But I recently did this old mine road that goes from 29 Palms, if you know where that is, up into Joshua Tree. It's called Old Dale Road. And for a long time I didn't do it because I had plotted everything out. I'm like, I don't know if my experience level is there yet. And this a couple weeks ago, I'm like,
I feel like it is.
I'm like, I'm ready to do it. Let's do it. And I did it. We didn't die.
Here.
Yeah, what kind of gear are you taking with? Are you taking an indie hat on?
Oh, absolutely.
A whip?
Wears all
do you have
time.
a leather whip?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I don't have the whip. But, it's
I would take one.
People think I bought that hat myself. That was a gift from my wife, and it's like I love wearing it. People laugh about it. It's like, do you think you're Indian? I'm like, sure.
Oh my gosh! Wait, did she get you like the one from like one of the movies, like the actual one?
She got the one.
Okay, so which one is that from? 1, 2, or 3?
The first one.
So one from Raiders?
Yeah, from Raiders.
Okay. What's your favorite indie movie?
Oh, it has to be Raiders.
Okay.
They're all good, and I enjoy every one of them for different reasons.
Yeah.
But Raiders itself, there's just something about that opening scene.
Yeah. I think 3 has grown on me so much. 2 Temple of Doom was always my favorite, but I think 3 kind of grew on me because I remember the beginning, the whole when Indy's a kid.
Yeah, the Boy Scouts.
He's a Boy Scouts, and then he's getting chased on the train. And I love the whole connection. Where he probably got the idea for the hat, the leather jacket from that guy that was chasing him, right? I had this discussion with Jeff Tucker one time from Knott because he's a huge geek with Indiana Jones, Back to the Future, and I said, you know what would have been a perfect role for that guy, the guy who was chasing young Indy in the train. I go, a perfect like circle back would have been that guy was great, by the way. I don't know who that actor is, but if they would have got Tom Selleck to play that role,
that would have been.
Oh my! Wouldn't that have been perfect?
Would have been beautiful.
Because Tom Selleck was he was the first choice for Indy, correct?
Yeah.
But he was busy with his TV show Magnum PI at the
he
time.
signed the contract.
He couldn't do it.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Harrison stepped in, or they went after Harrison, and Harrison's Indy forever now.
Yeah, if you look online, you can actually find there's a couple of tests that they did with Tom Selleck.
Yeah, I seen it,
and they're fun to watch.
Yeah,
I think he would have been a fine Indy, but Harrison Ford, he's it.
Yeah,
everything
happens for a reason.
But in that third one, there's some depth to that one as well.
Oh, of course.
The whole penitent man, and
of course the dad, the father-son connection.
Yeah. My wife really likes the whole when he steps onto the bridge, and she bought me the inscription. Remember they had it in the movie from the diary where the knight is walking on.
Yes.
And so I have that on my office wall.
Oh,
and
wow.
She got it for me for a couple reasons. I mean, she knew I liked it, but she likes it too because she's like, sometimes you just have to have faith.
Only the penitent man will pass.
Sometimes you have to take that step. I like that. I thought that was good.
No, that's beautiful. I a couple years ago, I bought. Disney was releasing a bunch of stuff, indie collectibles, and I got the Holy Grail. I got the stone from part 2. I got the idol from part 1. I'm sorry, the idol from part 1, and what do you call it? The piece that got burned into what's his name's hand.
That's the
staff of Ra.
Yes,
yeah. I jumped on all that stuff. That was like childhood collectibles that I'd been wanting since I was a kid. But
that's great.
You should tell them about what you got yesterday.
What did I get? Oh,
you have the power.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're one of those.
I'm an '80s kid, right?
How could you not be?
So He-Man.
Yeah.
The He-Man movie's coming out. I'm excited, man. I got the popcorn power sword or the drink,
which is
power sword.
So cool, by the way.
It is so really cool because he's always wanted one. He's been telling me this since he was like a little kid. He's been wanting the sword, so he went and he got the sword.
I
remember I saw it.
He said, "I have the power."
You don't even realize what a thing that was.
Mm-hmm. It was huge, wasn't it?
I don't think I've seen anything in my life that kids wise. Maybe Harry Potter, but that was for kind of older kids.
Yes.
Teenagers.
He-Man was really something.
It was huge, man. The toys at Toys R Us. I mean, everywhere. I mean, the colorful toys, the cartoon, it was like a phenomenon for a while. I think I kind of came in a little late, but for me, He-Man was like a big part of my childhood.
If you went onto the playground, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, that's what the boys were playing. You remember that.
Yeah.
That's what they were doing.
Yeah.
And then later on, when they got some of the female characters, some of the little girls were doing it too.
Yeah, She-Ra.
Yeah, it was a thing.
Yeah. My cousin was into She-Ra.
Yeah.
I was into He-Man. Well, Dr. Jacob Jones.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Caputo. Thank you so much for coming to to being with us here on the Dope Boyz Podcast. Honor. Thank you so much. It was such a treat, such an honor speaking with you, sir. Much love and respect to you. Thank you for being a wonderful leader for us when we most needed it, and all those wonderful quotes. And
most importantly, a friend.
Appreciate you
Yeah.
saying so.
We appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much. Anywhere you want to lead people to? Anything online?
Yeah, you know, if you're local, please check out my ghost tour, hauntedwhittier.com.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I've got actually 4 different tours. And, yeah.
You said you were working on a new one.
No, the Pio Pico one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
Which we're gonna do, by the
I
way.
want to do that one.
yeah, I hope you guys will come. It'll be in July. Looks like the
Let's do
permit's
it.
going to come through. So,
We're in.
by the way, you want the 9 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay.
The 9
Okay.
o'clock.
Latest possible.
Yeah, you want the 9 o'clock.
Fingers crossed. Hopefully someday
We're gonna say a prayer.
Knott's will let him. Yeah, we'll do that too. But Knott's will let him do a ghost tour.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be fun. There's plenty of stories there. So,
Yes, there
so
is.
many.
Yeah.
We've heard them here.
yeah.
All right, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like us, subscribe, follow us, the Dope Boyz
And
Podcast.
go to his ghost tour.
Yes,
I hope you
go
will.
check it out. We loved it. We actually went one time, and it was fun. A lot of fun. All right, folks. Peace out.
Bye.
That's all she wrote.
Hello, you dope mother truckers. Thank you for listening to our episode. If you enjoyed what you heard and you would like to stay updated on all new episodes, give us a like, a follow, or subscribe, and follow us on Instagram at the Dope Boyz _podcast. Turn on our notifications so you won't miss an episode, as a new one drops every other Wednesday. So, be ready, be dope. The Dope Boyz are in the building.